Greetings. This is our daily study of Pirkei Avot for those who have yard site for tonight, the 27th of Nisan. Chaya Brailov, Zevi Brooks, Nathan Clayman, Sandra Ginson, Harold House, Nathan Keller, Theodore Lansky, Ida Levinson, Barney Phillips, David Rosen, Clara Schwarzblatt, Jacob Straff, Frida Test, and Sam Wenick. May their memory be for a blessing. So we are up to Mishnah number 5 of chapter 1. Yossi ben Yochanan Ish Yerushalayim Omer. Yossi ben Yochanan, the leader of Jerusalem, says, "He beischa patuach l'ravacha, v'yu aniyim b'nei beisecha." And as always, the links to the text of the Mishnah will be in the first comment below. So Yehi beischa patuach l'ravacha. He says, "Let your house be open wide." And the Bartanura comments, this is just like the house of Abraham, the tent of Abraham, which was famously open on all four sides. He lived in the desert land where there were many nomads like Bedouins are today, and it was incredibly important to be hospitable then, because by taking someone into your home, it was not just a nice social gesture. You could very well be saving their life by giving them food and water. And we see that Abraham takes the three angels into his home. He doesn't know they're angels at first. He just thinks they're three men in need of somewhere to stay. And he's sitting at the entrance of his tent just waiting for guests. That's one of the traits that we learn from Abraham. That's also why a chuppah is open on all four sides. It has a roof, but we're telling the husband and wife, your home should be an open one, not an exclusive one. Your very first space that you share should be like the tent of Abraham and Sarah. Okay, so he says, let your house be open wide. And treat the poor as members of your household. So here also the Bartanura says, he has a very nice interpretation of this. Members of your household in the sense of members of your staff. They say the best charity is to give someone a job, right? So that's how Bartanura interprets this. They're not just freeloading in your house, meaning put them to work in your house. Pick up poor people on the street and make them your servants and housekeepers and what have you, and then you're putting them to work, and they could even live in your home, and it's kind of a nice interpretation. And then then everyone wins. It's a win-win situation. Okay, now here is probably the most controversial Mishnah in all of Pirkei Avot. Not very politically correct, as we'll see. The al tarba sicha im ha'isha. Do not converse excessively with a woman. It's obviously directed toward men as the self-assumed audience back then, when it was written, Be'ishto amru. And they said that. Now, if that wasn't politically correct enough, look at the next line. That replies to your own wife. Kal v'chomer be'eshes chavero. All the more so with the wife of your friend. Mikan amru chachamim. And then, an extra flourish here. And from here, the sages said, Kol hamar b'sicha im ha'isha gorem ra la'atzmo, ubelto midivrei Torah v'sofo yoresh gehenim. The sages said, anyone who converses excessively with a woman causes evil to himself, neglects Torah study, and will eventually go to hell. That's what it said. Yoresh Gehenim will eventually inherit a share in Gehenim, which is our term for hell. So, how are we to understand this Mishnah? So, the Bartanura always says, he's the most classical commentary in the Mishnah, and I think he has the proper way to understand it. Sicha, al tarba sicha im ha'isha, converse excessively. Well, this word sicha is often associated with sicha betela, idle, silly conversation. So it's saying don't have conversation, the kind of conversation that includes lashon hara and gossip and negativity, which is so much of our water cooler type conversations that people have anyway. So it's that's bad in general. But for a man to have such gossipy conversations with a woman where there's a flirtatious element which is inappropriate also is just even worse. And this is even with your own wife. So he says, the Bartanura says, you should not come home to your wife and have your conversation be, you know what such and such did to me at work. I hate this guy. And then you're going to get her riled up and she's going to say, oh, you know how you can get revenge on him. And he even quotes that this is how Korach, who led the rebellion against Moses and Aaron in the desert, it was, the Midrash says it was he and his wife cooked up the scheme. His wife riled him up because he said, Moses and Aaron have all this power and I don't have any power. And his wife said, well, you should get back at them. So the Bartanura says it's that kind of silly or idle or unconstructive conversation you should not have with your wife, but other conversations are considered to be fine. So I think that's the proper way to understand it, meaning if you should have elevated conversations consistent with Torah with your wife. Okay, so with that, we will say the memorial prayer for those who have yard site for tonight. Okay. Eloa slichos chanun v'rachu merech apayim rav chesed hamtzei kaparas pesha v'akravas yesho menucha nechona tachas kanfei ashchina v'malos kedoshim v'tahorim kazor harakia mashirim es nishmos kol haskaros shel halayla shel chuli olamam anabal harachmim zachor lahem latova kol zchuyosem etzikosem b'artzos achayim upsach lahem shari tzedek v'ora shari chem levchanina v'seiser kenefecha tastireim v'olamim v'tzor v'tzor achayim es nishmasam Adonai hu nachlasam v'yanuchu b'shalom mishkavam v'nomar amen. And now we'll recite in English the prayer following the study of Mishnah. We should mention also that tonight is Holocaust Memorial Day, Yom HaShoah, and our Torah study should be in memory of all the martyrs of the Holocaust as well. Please, O Hashem, full of mercy, for in your hand is the soul of all the living and the spirit of every human being. May you find favor in our Torah study and prayer. For the souls of Chaya Brelov, Zevi Brooks, Nathan Clayman, Sandra Ginson, Harold House, Nathan Keller, Theodore Lansky, Ida Levinson, Barney Phillips, David Rosen, Clara Schwarzblatt, Jacob Straff, Frida Test, and Sam Winnick, in whose memory we have studied. Accept them with love and affection and send them your holy and pure angels to lead them to settle under the tree of life near the souls of the righteous and devout, to enjoy the radiance of your presence. To satiate them from your good that is concealed for the righteous. May their body repose in the grave with proper contentment, pleasure, gladness, and peace, as it is written. Let him enter in peace, let them rest on their beds, everyone who has lived in his proper way. As it is written, let the devout exult in glory, let them sing joyously upon their beds. And as it is written, if you lay down, you will not fear. When you lay down, your sleep will be sweet. Amen.